Hi, I'm Laura from Scitech. Welcome back to Tinker and Create. Now it's time to test our creations. To do that, you're going to need a screen to project the shadows onto and a light. So for your screen, I've got some paper here, but you could also use a bed sheet or even the wall. And in terms of lights, I've got a tube light here that I had lying around, but you could use a torch or even your phone light. Remember, if it involves plugging things into electricity, make sure to ask for an adult's help. And as you're setting everything up, make sure there's not going to be anything falling over that could hurt you, and also that there aren't any trip hazards around that could hurt you either. When you're testing out your puppets, make sure you turn off all the other lights in the room except the one behind your theatre. But if you're not using the light in your theatre, make sure to turn it off because it can get quite hot and you don't want to burn yourself. So once you've played around, decided on the shadow you want, test out your puppet. Does it do what you want it to do? You might have to record from the front because it's very hard to tell from the back exactly what's going on. But I wanted my elephant to be able to move its trunk around. It seems to be able to do that quite well. I don't really like the way the tusks are. You can sort of see the different sections of the trunk. So it could be worth maybe making a few extra sections if I wanted to make that extra smooth. But it does do what I wanted it to do. So a few things I could try, but I'm pretty happy with that. And then the legs. So I can get the legs to move, but I have to move them all individually, and it's very hard to coordinate that with all my hands, especially if I'm trying to do it accurately. And then get the elephant to move along. So maybe there's a mechanism that I could use to link some, so if I move one, the others then move. But otherwise it's about playing around and working out what looks best. Once you're happy with your puppet, there are a few other things you could try. You could try adding some detail, like maybe adding an eye. You could try making some scenery, depending on where your animal lives, what habitat it lives in. It could be a tree or some grass. You also could try adding some sound as your animal moves, or maybe try telling a story with your puppet, maybe what it had for lunch. Let's see what everyone else has come up with.
Hello, Alicia here. I really enjoyed making my peregrine falcon shadow puppet. As you can see, I've got a cat toy attached to some string, which is attached to some buttons, and then attached to some paper. I have a skewer here holding it up as well. Originally, I needed to add the buttons because the wings wouldn't flap. So the buttons add weight to the wings, so I had to make some changes there. I also first wanted to have a rotating wing, but I didn't actually have any split pins, and also that's not really the way that birds fly. But it was a good learning experience anyway, and I hope you enjoy looking at my peregrine falcon working.
Hi everyone, I'm Evan and this is my shadow puppet. I made a jumping frog. Now, I found the material I chose to work with quite difficult. It turns out corrugated cardboard is difficult to cut and not particularly firm. Also, the way I chose to make my animal move, it had a lot of different moving parts, so I had to tone down what I actually planned to begin with, and I decided not to have the front leg move as well. But that was a lot of fun, and I hope you did really well with yours too.
Hi, my name is Jess and I used Laura's awesome video to make my own shadow puppet. I chose the flamingo because I just love how they can move, bend and twist their long necks. So I did a little bit of research and it turns out that flamingos have 19 vertebrae in their necks to help them have a larger range of movement. So for my puppet, I made not 19, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments for the neck. Now the more pieces you have for either the neck or any other part of your puppet, the more fluid the movement. So if I wanted to make my flamingo better and more lifelike, I would try and build it bigger and have 19 pieces in the neck instead of just 6.
Thanks for joining us for Tinker and Create. I can't wait to see the puppets you came up with. Be sure to share your creations with us and we'll see you next time.